Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. Kaja here, Just Simply Sports. Now, I feel like I was one of the very few people that were not completely sold on Caleb Williams and all the hype that surrounded him coming into the NFL. I'm always of the mindset that rookies are rookies and it takes time to adjust. High school is high school, college is college, NFL is an entirely different ball game, literally. You are playing against grown men who have mortgages, baby mamas, wives, ex-wives. They're taking care of their moms, buying houses. Like, they have legit responsibilities. And I know most people think that all NFL players make millions. A lot of them do not make millions. A lot of them are more so check to check, and some don't even make a million. Let's just keep it real, you know. Obviously, the Patrick Mahomes and people like that, are obviously at the top, right? But it doesn't speak to the entire league. Most don't get paid what you think. Now, with that being said, they got to get out there and they got to prove it that they belong on that roster every single week because it's a week to week thing with the NFL. And for me, I was like, you know what? Obviously, he's talented. But people were comparing him to Patrick Mahomes. I was just like, Rookie of the Year, future Hall of Famer. And I was like, can this young man please at least throw a touchdown? Can he step foot on an NFL field before we crown him, king of the rookies, so to speak? And that's no shade to him. But again, it takes time to be great. Unless you are rare. Most people, it takes time to develop greatness. Not many people just come into the NFL and just dominate. CJ Stroud had a great rookie year, but the first few games, he wasn't very dominant. He closed the season better, right? But if you watch the facility when they were on Speak, they spoke a lot about the expectations for Caleb Williams. People say he was going to throw over 4,000 yards, rookie of the year, and best offensive player. It was all these different things. And I'm just like, you guys, breathe, woosah, let the young man get his footing and see what happens. So now it's been 3 games. I didn't want to say too much. I wanted to see how he adjusted week to week. And he's making mistakes that obviously are a little bit puzzling because he didn't do that in college. It's not college anymore. So I was watching the facility earlier and I was just like, you guys really, you should have known better. But I'm just going to play a little bit, you guys, and then we'll get right back to it.
Why is it surprising to you?
I'm glad you asked.
I want you to start. Why is it surprising?
I agree when Shady McCoy says that rookies struggle and you can't judge rookies. But here's the dilemma. Caleb, if you were better coming out of college than every other rookie, then I need you to be better in the National Football League than every other rookie. You can't be better than Bo Nix in college, but then get to the NFL and be worse. You can't be better than Jaden Daniels in college, but then get to the NFL and be worse. You can't be better than Justin Herbert and better than Joe Burrow and better than Kyler Murray and better than Jalen Hurts in college, but then get to the NFL and be worse.
Why can't you be? Why is it because you can't be you have to be better than Bo Nix, for example, and Justin Herbert, everybody you just named? Why is it that you can't be better than Bo Nix in college, but then get to the NFL and not be better than Bo Nix? They are two completely different things. That kind of thinking to me makes no sense at all because you have people in college who are not even good in college, and then they come to the NFL, and you're like, wait, where did this young man come from? I think it also depends on the team you go to, the weapons around you, how you're being developed. When did Chicago ever develop a wonderful quarterback? I mean, let's just be honest. They didn't really do great with Justin Fields, but he's 3-0 with the Steelers, right?
Not surprised that Caleb Williams is struggling. I am surprised that Caleb Williams is struggling this much. That's really the dilemma I have with the whole situation. So, yes, rookies should be rookies. But if you were better than all them then, I need you to be better than all them now.
But why can't you? Like you said, you can't be. Like, why, though? Why can't you be worse than you were today than you were in college?
You can be worse. But I need you to keep the same degree of separation.
All right.
If Shady McCoy was a better running back than Beanie Wells in college, then when you get to the NFL, be a better running back than Beanie Wells. And then in year 5, still be a better running back than Beanie Wells. And then in year 10, still be a better running back than Beanie Wells. So, Caleb, if you was better than all them dudes then, why they caught you?
Look, he's not playing well. Let me just start with that. So, but I'm not surprised that he's struggling. And to your point, I'm glad you went first because Do you guys know how hard it is to play quarterback in the National Football League?
I do not.
Especially
I know it's hard.
as a rookie. I'm not going to go through all the play calls and what we did. And then actually, did you see Caleb Williams was wearing a wristband for the first time ever to try and speed up the operation? There's so many things that you don't think about that go into a quarterback's head, as simple as something to do with, hey, on this play right here, on 3rd and 7 to 10, there's 6 plays that we have, Chase, and the offensive coordinator's like, hey, let's use the triple count on that one. You got to remember that. Like, there's so much information that is put into you as a quarterback, and you have to regurgitate it, right? That's how you can tell in combine interviews and early interviews that a guy has the it factor that can not only show you what he does on the field, but off the field as well.
All right, you guys. Combines to me are not that big of a deal because it's a combine, right? It's a confined setting. It's not the real thing. It is very different being in a combine than being on the field of battle in the NFL. Now, obviously, he's generational talent, right? We know he's extremely talented, and I do believe that once he, gets acclimated with being in the NFL, he will, be a lot more dominant. However, I think for me, the expectations, I think, are why it appears that he is struggling so much more than all the rest of the rookies because no one really had the same expectations that he did. No one had all of the hype coming into the NFL as a rookie, as a quarterback, than Caleb Williams. At least not since I've been watching. Okay, that's just me. Maybe you guys know something different. Leave it in the comments if you do. But I always say expectations are killer because you put him up there on this high pedestal. And I feel like Caleb Williams, obviously, he hears that. Now, he may not want to come out and admit, like these. I feel like, a lot of pressure to make sure that I'm delivering for my team. But it's a reality. They got Justin Fields for him. They got, they add all these extra weapons around him to make sure that he succeeds and they don't do the same thing with Justin Fields with him. So he has all this talent around him. The coach is there. I don't know how good the coach is. We'll see what happens with the rest of the year. But nevertheless, so when you have a high level expectation, that's a lot of pressure for anyone. Not to mention when you have the whole entire world watching you, giving their opinions, their judgments, leaving all kinds of crazy comments about his fingernails being painted. I've seen all kinds of stuff, you guys. Like, I'm sure you have too if you read the comments sometimes on Instagram and, TikTok and things like that. But I think if the expectations had not been at the top, like all the way to the sky, maybe he could just breathe and just play free like he was in college. I think that's really what's getting the best of him. Him really, really wanting to deliver, and be the rookie that everyone thought he was going to be, I think is getting the better of him from a mental perspective. And I feel like that's what's allowing him to make mistakes that he didn't necessarily make when he was in college.
I'm not surprised he's struggling. Yeah. For clarity, really what it is we would all say that Caleb was better than Bo Nix in college. Yeah. We would all say that Caleb was better than Jayden Daniels in college.
Look, Bo Nix just got out of college, but he has spent in college how many years? Bo Nix is not a young tenderoni, so to speak. He's been around. He's a lot more experienced than your average rookie. So that might have something to do with the fact that, Bo Nix looks better than Caleb Williams. He finally won the game yesterday, but the first 2 games, Bo didn't look too good either. But he finally got a very convincing win yesterday.
But Bo Nix and Jayden Daniels are playing better than Caleb Williams right now. That's why I'm surprised, Chase. Not that he's struggling, but the Bears are better than the...
And why are we surprised that Jayden Daniels is doing good? I mean, people were saying before the draft that Jayden Daniels could easily have gone number 1 as well. In fact, there were more of, who was it? It might have been RG3. It may have been Louis Riddick. But they were talking about Jayden Daniels and saying that they expect, I can't remember which one it was. I think it might have been Louis Riddick, but he expected him to have a better rookie season than Caleb Williams. So for me, this is not a surprise because I heard it from one of them or both of them, in the before the draft. But again, but Jayden Daniels does not have the same expectations, so he can just play freely and, and learn and if he makes a mistake, no one's like, hammering down his back, about him not looking like what they thought he was. But with Caleb, obviously, because he came into the NFL with the high expectations that he did, he has a different set of eyes on him, and it's a lot of eyes. So it's a lot of pressure. What do you guys think, though, about this whole Caleb Williams thing? What do you think about rookies in general? Because I feel like, I think Tom Brady said it a few weeks ago when he was being interviewed by Stephen A. Smith. I feel like they don't allow rookies to be rookies. I feel like they have to come in. They come in from college and they have obviously dominant college years. They come right to the NFL and usually go to a bad team, so like they're the face of the franchise, but they don't get a chance to actually learn and develop in most cases, right? I feel like your best quarterbacks got to sit and learn and watch. You have to learn sometimes. Sometimes you can't just throw a lion like like throw people to lions then. It takes time to be great. You had Aaron Rodgers, who sat behind Brett Favre, right? And then Jordan Love is looking great, right? Because he sat behind Aaron Rodgers and he got to watch him, got to develop. Patrick Mahomes, he sat for a whole year before he got to play. Andy Reid, they said Shea used to play with him. He said he never allows his quarterbacks to play in the first year. They have to sit, and watch. Why not? There is nothing wrong. I know that they want NFL is different now, with NIL, and you have these quarterbacks coming in who are already super popular, who are already making millions before they even get to the NFL to begin with. And I feel like owners want to win so bad. It's like, okay, give me him. He's great in college, Heisman winner. He's going to deliver us, to at least to the playoffs, in his first year, maybe potentially the Super Bowl. But greatness takes time. It does not happen overnight. You cannot simply put these rookies into the oven, so to speak, and come out, with a 5-layer cake. These things take time. You got to give these young men time to be great. And I feel like owners are doing them a disservice because they're coming in and expecting them to do so much with so little time. Preseason games, obviously Caleb looked a lot better, but that was the preseason. Nobody's really playing in the preseason. I heard everybody talking about, oh my God, look at him in the preseason. I'm like, there's nobody playing. He's not playing anybody. Like, we can't judge him by that. But nevertheless, you guys, what do you think about this whole rookie situation? Do you agree with me? They need to give rookies time to develop, or hell no, you're number one for a reason. Get out there and deliver. Let me know in those comments. I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.